and then if you take my little ad there, I tried to do. Ads is not a thing that I know yet, so I'm trying to play with that. But so 6R trade, but I'll take it.
Nice. You got to take that, man.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank
and then
you.
came back down straight after that.
I know, I couldn't believe it. I was so happy. I thought I was going to be greedy. I was like, should I trail my stop, because if it's rain contraction and it busts out, like it really could go. And I was like, just take your trade and be done.
Yeah,
so I'm happy I did what I did there.
Nice, good job. I didn't see anything else. I didn't trade today. I only had small time to look at it. I saw that, and then after that I was busy, so I didn't see. But it looked like there was some stuff happening today.
Yeah, there are definitely some stuff going on in CL as well. Unfortunately, it just didn't follow through.
Mm-hmm.
That's all right.
The time and price didn't fall through, because there was a late time and price entry I saw, and that didn't follow through.
Yeah, it all kind of just stopped.
Okay.
CL was a jerk today.
Well, there was a price chart trade, though. Didn't Brock say he took a price chart as well?
This morning, yeah. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, there was a
Larry must have got in on that as well, no?
Brock is Brock's the master now of these transition trades. He just gets in. I love it.
But that's what we were just saying. I mean, like Mish was pointing out, that if the setup is there, you got to take it, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the hard thing that I'm trying to figure out. It's just, sometimes you look at it and you're like, oh, it's going to go. And you're like, and you don't take it, but then it goes. And you're like, well, why didn't you take it?
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of which, Ryan, you and I need to get together. So just ping me afterwards.
Yeah.
Let's figure out some times. So.
All right, cool. Appreciate it.
I'm going to be gone next week, guys. So next, I'll be on vacation, having some fun, hopefully. And I'm not going to do any meetings next week, but I should be around in the mornings. So you'll hear from me.
Are you away all next week?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So would like, if we try and set something up for this week towards the latter end of the week, would that be okay?
Not too late, because I'm leaving on Friday.
But okay.
But like even Thursday, because Thursday, I don't mind speaking to you Brit, on my Independence Day. Happy to do it.
I'm not a Brit.
You're not a Brit? Wait, where are you from?
Nah, I'm from South Africa.
Oh, that's right. And I should recognize the accent. I know enough South Africans that the accent's totally different. All right. Well, it's safe then. It's safe. My Independence Day.
But I am also French and Swiss now.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't affronting you with my Independence Day meeting.
No, all good. Oh, yeah, but for you guys, it's 4th of July. Eh? So, I mean, would you want to do that for you on the 4th of July?
Yeah, I think it's great. Yeah, I think if we did it in the morning, it'd be awesome. There's nothing to do. So.
Okay.
CL's going.
When you say morning for you, would be what time? Well, we'll talk about this later. I'll message you afterwards.
Yeah, we'll chat about it.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, Misha, CL's taking off. Love it. Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
Are you in it? Are you in, Misha?
No, I'm not in. No, I'm not in. Just watching it go to our target without us.
I was going to say it's going to hit that monthly. I know it's going to.
I've been waiting for that all day, and now it's definitely going to hit it for sure.
It's like now that we're not looking at it, there it goes. Yes, like I said, CL was kind of a jerk today.
It was.
Sometimes is. All right, so today, guys, I thought what we would do is, I know that there's interest in pre-confirm stuff, and I'm cognizant about throwing too much of other instruments at you. I know that, we love CL. Gold has been really interesting from a transition perspective, but I think it's important also for us to maybe keep looking at ES and NQ. They kind of turned off a little bit. Now they're kind of turning back on for us. And I thought, let's take a look at NQ and let's kind of look at it from the perspective of maybe 3 of our setups. Transition in NQ, like we probably have to have some other modules to talk about that, because it's not going to be as straightforward necessarily as it's not going to be as straightforward as CL. There's some other things that we're going to need to do with NQ, mostly going back to, if you guys remember, the day models, right? So I thought if we could just focus on more of the core stuff right now, time and price. Also, we've got, people on that aren't part of our group and they're just kind of listening in. And I think that stuff is a little bit more digestible too, if that makes sense. So here's what I want is, can one of you guys volunteer to be our data checker for time and price and pre-confirmation, and then someone be our data checker for the Transition Explorer data? Anyone?
Yeah, I can check.
What do you want to do? Time and price or Transition Explorer, or both?
Anyone, doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'm gonna just have to just change. No, it's fine. It should be okay.
You don't have to share your screen or anything. I'm just going to have you double check as we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
I might just jump off and jump back on a different on my iPad.
Okay.
Give me 2 seconds.
All right. No worries. Okay. So let's go back, and if you guys remember our discussion about kind of doing a weekly review, let's do something like that. It's not going to be as formal where we go and I'm not going to document everything. But one of the things that we could do is just go through and kind of validate, are our setups working? Is this something that, and this is a really good practice for anything that you're doing, any kind of system you're trading. If you're thinking about, hey, maybe I should turn this new thing on, we can go back and do a quick re-engineering test or checks to see, hey, is this stuff actually working? And do I want to now put a bunch more time into maybe a heavy lift back test, a more comprehensive type of back test, right? Because one of the things that I'd like to know right now is, should I be watching NQ on a regular basis? Should I add that to my portfolio of things that I'm watching? And, based on what I saw when I kind of did a quick look back, the answer is yes. So I kind of want to take you through what I'm doing when I'm doing kind of a quick look back. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. I have a tummy problem, so I'm having tea right now, and it's 100 freaking degrees outside, so I don't know why I'm having hot tea. Welcome to Texas heat. All right, so let's go back and let's do June. So we're going to do June and starting around June 3rd. And the first thing that we want to do is, I've got all my charts set up the way that I want them. Okay, so my charts are here. And I did some, let me hide some of the stuff because it's kind of stuff that we're not going to want to look at as we go. And 6 levels. Yeah, I do have some price levels. Those will come a little bit later. So hang on a second, because I was in the middle of turning some of the stuff on. So hang on. Let me look here really quick. Anybody know how to keep these things in order in TradingView? Mine just come out of order all the time. 523.
I would like to know the same thing.
I know. It's driving me nuts. Globally.
Are you sharing right now? I can't see anything.
Oh, great. Yeah, hang on. I'm sharing on YouTube. So the YouTube people have priority over you guys. Sorry. Whoops. Let me get my screen. Let me get this screen too right here. Boom. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I'm just checking 620. All right. Okay, so this is NQ, June 3rd. Follow along if you want. And first of all, let's just take a look at kind of what the context is for this day. Anyone?
Bullish.
Why is that? Come on,
Intact model to the upside.
Yep.
Intact model to the upside.
Mm-hmm.
Never broke the
intact model to
midline.
the upside. So right now we're looking fairly bullish. We're skipping the transition trades. Is there the potential here for a DR formation trade? Probably need to come back here. DR formation. For everybody else, we have data that helps us understand if we should be trading in the first hour or not. Looking for a bigger move. All right, our data guy. What do you see, Ryan? Anything?
We've got Monday, ODR, True Day, Upside X. Only 2 data sets though.
Only 2 data sets?
Yeah.
Okay.
So but that's ODR session. I'm looking for transfer. No, actually, let me put it into. But we don't do the price chart in this. So if we go to RDR,
This is what you get.
Yeah. Okay. So RDR is different. If we don't know what confirmation time is yet. We don't know that yet.
Yeah, I'd say yes. You gotta look long based on the data.
Yeah, like 44%. Even if we turn this red, we now have 55% possibility of a long confirmation, right? So when we're looking at this in terms of like, okay, how do we actually enter a DR formation trade? One of the things that we want to look for is what key levels can we lean on? We obviously have our midline right here. So if our midline gets, rejected or tapped, that would be a good place to look for an entry, right? So we have that occur right here, 10-10. We have a possible dib entry. So this is one possibility right here. Ooh, that's a big nasty stop loss, and I'm not sure. I don't like that stop, but whatever. Let's just say we did it. The reason I don't like this stop is because to get back to the other side of the DR, like that's really, it's like 3R. That's like 3, it's not a ton. But we'll keep it just for fun. We're just observing here, seeing if there's a possibility. Let's see. Let's keep moving. I think this is where we actually enter. And we are probably going to lose on this one here. That didn't quite go to R. Boom. Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So we lost on that one. That's -1R. You guys know I didn't like that one anyway. So that was ugly.
When we're having, we had long bias because of the upside models. We had, we pretty much had our upside. What was in the end upside X for the RDR session.
Yeah.
But when you look at the transition explorer, it gives us a 50-50 long short confirmation. Box direction is long, but when you have those 50-50s, and we've talked about this often. Well, when does price action take precedence? And we had like a big rejection from the upper DR range.
Yeah. Yeah.
2 big candles coming down.
Up here.
So what? Yeah. So when I see that like a big rejection, then I'm often expecting, okay, like if we get into this the lower half or the opposite half of the opening range, then it's obvious. Then I often think, okay, well, it's going to come back to the midline, and then there's a good chance it comes back and confirms the other way. And especially if confirmation data is saying, well, it's 50-50, I would have expected a short confirmation in this case.
Yeah. Yeah, which is tricky, right? Because we don't want to trade against the upside model. So we need to wait for we have to wait for this to get broken. So there's it's like the data doesn't help us to go long and the structure doesn't help us to go short yet. Right? So that's why there's no pre-confirmation opportunity here. You know, it'd be really great if like we had very clear, if this had already broken and then we came up here, that would be beautiful for pre-confirmation trade. But now really all we have left for us is we have time and price, right?
Yes.
So now we'll look and see, do we get anything on time and price? So there. Now this is something I wanted to talk to you guys about. I know everybody has the indicator, but you also have the data. And one of the things I expressed to you early on when I gave you the indicator was I said, you know, one of the challenges is that we're going to run into days where, you know, there's just levels that we should still consider that maybe that don't show up necessarily on the indicator. So let's take a look at today's data. This particular day's data.
There's a big max retracement from 0 to -1.
Yep.
No, sorry, I'm on short. I was on
this
long.
is Monday, right?
Yeah.
Short.
Yeah. Sorry, it changed. Yeah, it's short.
10:30.
Okay.
What time did we confirm?
It was pretty quick, I think. It was 10:30 to 11.
10:30. So just in the data, like what you see in the data in the transition or the indicator, the transition explorer, right? You see this is the 0 level. So it's basically the 1 to 2 level. But when you go and you look at the actual data, right, we have this whole block right here. And then when you look over here, we also have this. I was reasonably uncomfortable putting a lot of the 2-3, the positive 2-3s in the indicator, right? Because it's a really shallow retracement. But you have to consider the 2 to 3 level, right? I want you guys supplementing the indicator with actually looking and reading the data. You're advanced enough that you can do that now, right? Look at the nuances, the stuff that, you know, the indicator is meant to kind of keep it simple and it's great for starting out, but get to the point where you can actually go and look and read the data. And so when you do that and you look at it from this perspective, right? And we're looking at a level, a data-based level. Okay. Now there's something new here, right? We have the 2 to 3 level to add to this. We have a perfect move right up into here. And then what do we get when we move right up into this level? You guys all see it? Help me out. Vincent, come on. You need to be the first one to see these things. Let's go.
She got a color change.
What kind of color change?
You said what kind?
Well, I mean, you know, like where would you enter this? Where could you enter this?
You could enter on, what is that, 1140?
It's 11:30.
Right there.
Yeah, 11:40.
Yeah.
Right
yeah, you
here,
can enter
we have
right
a
there.
dib, right? You could do that. You could do this. You could wait for a comeback, right? You have a dib right here, which is awesome. You can be super conservative and you can put your stop loss way up here. I don't like that. I like my stop losses, you know, under 20. And then what is our target? What are you going to go for? The median or the mode? You guys get to choose.
Is the
Mode.
Who said mode?
Me, go big. Look at those big candles. Go mode.
Yes. Let's go for the mode. All right. Let's give it a whirl. We're going for the mode. 7R trade. How many think it's going to be a 7R trade? Everybody else who's not one of the advanced, what do you guys think? Come on. In the chat. 7R trade, yes or no? Throw it in the chat. Is it going to make it? Can I do a poll? Oh, I can do a poll. Yes or no? Yes. No. Boom.
Before
There's a poll in the chat, people. Come on. Interact with us. Help us
just
out here.
before going through and revealing it, my thought process would be again is like, before we had confirmation, we hadn't broken the upside model that we had, and now we've finally broken it.
Mm-hmm.
With a firm halt on the midline.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I would say there's reason to go much further, because we're breaking everything that's built up since. Okay, well, we've really crossed it now, but yeah, okay, median's looking more likely when you look to the left, when you see that bottom before the Asian session, before ADR opens, you kind of see that bottom there that's lining up with the median there.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be it, actually.
Yeah. Yep.
But it could also just give us a nice long wick down to the mode.
Or it could go all the way back up. It could do anything, right?
Yeah, but I'm just trying to look at reasoning why. But the fact that it's I would say that it's going to go further is because we've broken that session. We've been going up.
I think
know.
there's some
That's
other
just my
clues
thought
here
process.
too. So we broke the midline of the ODR. We broke the midline of the ADR. We broke this DR range here of the ADR as well, closed below it, right? We know that we at least want to get below this. So yeah, I think mode is a reasonable attempt, and you can always trail afterwards, right?
Yeah, once you hit median, yeah.
Yeah. The group is 50-50 out of the 6 votes. So if you haven't voted, vote. But oh no, wait, Julian puts us at a little bit 4-3 votes. Thank you, Julian. You broke the tie. All right, let's see what happens here. Boom, 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 boom. We hit our mode.
Yeah.
Yes. 7R trade. It goes a little bit further, and then is that it? No, it wants to keep. No, okay, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what it had in it. Cool.
Big candles.
Okay.
Nice.
So on this one, just reiterate, look at your data. The data's, the indicator gets us most of the way there. It gets us like 90% of the way there, but pay attention to the data itself. How many of you guys have been looking at the data itself too when you're looking at time and price? Anyone? Ah, got it.
I've been trying to keep an eye on looking at the retracement levels, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Just check your
I
data.
don't get to.
Always check your data. Plus, I make mistakes. So, you guys know that. All right, let's go to the next day. Let me get rid of this stuff. I'm just going to delete it all. Boom, boom. We don't need it. Okay, this is June 4th. I'm not even looking at news. So if we end up with a day that has news, we're just going to trade it anyway. Is there anything to do here? DR formation? Anything at all? Anything? Anyone want to do anything? Let's hear some voices from my crew. Advanced crew.
I mean, it's broken model. It's broken model, right? Can we look for the trumpet here?
Yeah. You
Press the ADR.
You could look for a trumpet, right? So you'd be looking to go which direction?
Long.
Yeah, I agree with Brock.
You sound
Trumpet long.
Long? Is it
Yeah,
long?
why not? You see,
Maybe
the
I'm
clear
more
bottom
confident at
trumpet.
5:30 in the morning.
Yeah. All right. Scott, you agree with Brock?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm not doing much of anything. Look at the overlapping bars, and we haven't really hit any edges. I think I'd rather see us around some sort of edges somewhere. And unfortunately, I don't know if I have really good levels right here. What's today? The June 4th? I don't know what happened to my levels.
I was gonna say I feel naked without the levels.
I know, right? And we don't have monthlies right now because of the
Yeah.
the higher highs. So
Yeah.
kind of screwed. All right, so you guys are looking for a potential long. Is that this right here, this 958, where you would go? You got a dib entry? Are you okay taking it right off the bat, or do you need to see more development of what the DR range is going to look like?
Well, I can give you some news on the data. Data is saying DXP 37.5 or RX 33.3. So I guess there's more chance of an RX forming now.
Okay. So knowing that you have DXP, which would be something like this, which is now off the question. So now it's range expansion, which needs to be something like that. Are you going long here? Brock and Scott.
I might wait a little bit. Yeah. I mean, without any levels there or anything. But yeah, I don't know that I have much more. To me, it was more just look for a trumpet, but I don't know that I have anything that would say get in right now.
Yeah, I would say wait for at least the range expansion to complete, since it's most of the stats are to the downside at this point.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to put you guys on the spot, but I'm going to put you on the spot. Actually, I guess I do mean to put you on the spot.
I should say you should be.
It's all intended. Okay. Do you see the overlap? This is for everybody. Like, do you see the overlap? Can you see it?
Yeah.
It's just, there's not much to do in the overlap. When we have a day like this, where it takes forever, usually what happens is we're going to break this opening range, usually within the first 30 minutes. So sometime between 10:30 Eastern time and 11 Eastern time, if we're going to get a good move, usually it's going to occur where we break this opening 1 hour range within the first 30 minutes. If that doesn't happen and we just diddle around here, we might get a break. We might get a late break that then moves, but it's just a lot lower probabilities for us. So at this point, I'm probably watching CL. Yeah, there's nothing to do here. Nothing at all. Get a late break, comes up, comes back down. Nothing to do. So even if you're not trading with us or trading this approach, if you just have in fact, I think Todd does this. I don't know if Todd's on, but Todd trades in Q pretty heavily with just a lot of the Velez stuff, but he has the DR IDR for moments like this. Looking for these kind of important both levels and I think breaks. And I don't want to speak for Todd and what he does, but I gather that's about what he's looking at right there. Okay, let's go to the next day. Okay, this is June 5th, Wednesday. You can follow along. Okay, wait. Data. What's our data? What do we got? Transition data, Ryan.
I'm looking. So we're on Wednesday.
I can look.
Wednesday.
Let's see.
It's DX. Is that correct?
Yep. Long. True.
DX long. True. There we go. All right. UXP. 42%. Yeah.
Yeah. Long box, long confirmation. All right. So looking for a box somewhere up here. Are there any numbers? 1.7 to 4.75. Oh, I don't have my stuff on. Okay. So what are we looking for here?
I'm just trying to look.
Well, just generally, guys, what are we looking for? What setup are we looking for?
long in the end.
That's
We've got an unbroken model, correct?
Yeah. No, it's broken,
Oh yeah, it is broken. Okay.
but we do have data, upside X plus data.
Well, yeah, I would say for me now, I'm gonna wait to see that it's gonna come down to from the bottom of the DR. I don't think the DR is gonna be higher than what it is. I would say the top's in, and it's gonna come down to from the bottom. Maybe test the monthly or that previous level before it went up, just a bit lower, sort of between the two monthlies.
Okay, so these are just PA levels, or not monthlies, by the way. They're just my
Okay,
PA
okay.
levels.
Well, I would.
Yeah.
So it might touch one of those, or that level that you're on now, where you've got a top, and then it comes down to test sort of what is it, like 11670? Yes.
These two.
Was it 18790? Yeah. So halfway between those, there, I would say some way. But I would wait for it to form the bottom of the DR. I think the bottom's not in,
Okay.
and then potentially have long after that.
What about you, Scott?
I think I would probably wait for a confirmation on this one
Okay.
for me.
All right. Misha? Oh, you went on mute. You were off mute.
Oh. I'd wait too, I said.
You wait too? Nobody wants to take a shot at a possible, like I feel like I'm leading questions here. You have upside X plus. You have a long box, 75% long box, 80%, long confirmation.
With ADX, it's DX.
Nobody wants to take a shot anywhere.
There's an all-in in the chat.
BV in all, yeah.
BV.
He's all in.
I love BV. Okay. That's ugly.
News.
Well, I don't know if we had it. Do we have a color change anywhere? That's the question. All right. So we have this overlapping stuff here. So let's say that we're like BV. We're all in. Okay. So all in, we're going to take this color change right here. Boom. Man, what is up with these stop losses? I do not like these stop losses at all. I want my 10 to 15 point stop loss is what I want. Okay. All right. So let's just say for fun we did that. Okay. We're out right here with 1R. Okay. That's 1R loss right there. No bueno. Okay. We still have some good stuff in our basket though, because look, this level holds. Okay, there's no close below the level. The level holds. Anybody getting in again right here? Anyone who wants to get in? Second try. Anyone? BV's all in. BV, sign you up, brother. All right, BV's all in again. BV's all in again. And we're looking at a 6R trade. Let's see what happens. All right. Boom. Okay. So far looking good. What happens here? 6R. Level holding. Boom. Level takes off. There's so much data here. Look at this. Like just 43% chance of it being upside X plus. 75% chance long box. 80% probability of a long confirmation. Nice price action level right here that we have. Holds, little wick through, nice little liquidity grab. Thank you very much, market makers. And then we turn and we go. How far do we go? Well, I don't know. Do we even go up to here? I doubt it, but I don't know. We can look for fun. We made it to that first target. So 6R for sure. And then, do we have a time and price here? Sorry, I'm jumping ahead too fast. Do we have a time and price right here? What do you guys think with NQ? I'm trying not to leap ahead, but this little 2-minute chart is not helping me out. 2 minutes. This is our level. Ryan, check our numbers.
Busy checking. So we had long confirmation. We do have max retracement in the 0 to 0.4.
All the way up to here.
No, down to negative 0.4.
Yeah. What about on the positive side? What's on the positive side? The question is
on
this,
the positive?
Yeah, is this little thing that almost gets to our level? Is this okay to take this? Because is there data between 2 and 3 or 2 and 4 that would be valid for us?
There's data between 2 and 0. Before that, it can, yeah.
Okay, so maybe we don't take this. $5 says if there's a color change here, Vincent takes this. And maybe even Larry taking that. Larry's like, levels be danged. I'm going to take my level today. It's close enough.
I actually did that today. So, yeah.
Yeah. So this is even like this, if you have some sort of contextual reasoning, right, for for going long, maybe you fudge it a little bit and you get in. We're literally how many ticks away? So 90950. 3 points in NQ. Does it get even closer? Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean,
Of front running limit order.
if there's a good color change event after this rejection right here, who's in? Or are you going to wait to see if it comes all the way down in it?
Yes.
Here?
I'm in.
Misha's in. All right, let's take a look.
I'll be
All right, here's our color change right here. Man, I love the combo of this Velez and this color change stuff and the data. It's so good. So good. Boom. 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 Where's our target? What are you going for, Misha? You gonna go for mode or median? Mode is only 3R.
Realistically, I would go for mode.
Come on.
I'm risk averse, I think.
We're going for at least 4. Come on. Are you guys finding that you are you get a little disappointed when you only have a 3R trade now?
yes.
Not me.
Not me.
I like 3R.
I'll take 3R. So half of you are like, no, I need my 12R trade. All right. Boom, boom. Let's see how far it goes. I should have done another poll. All right, so we're through the mode. Boom, we hit our median target. I actually think we're going to go up to this upper target. I don't know. Let's see. Do we go up there? No, it's reject. Nah, we're not going up there. Oh, we did. Oh my gosh, look at that. BV, did you hold on this trade down here? That was 10R, buddy. I only came for the 12R. I know, Julian. This is so disappointing. I'm sorry, guys. It was only 10.5R on that one. Okay, cool. I realize realistically we're not trading to necessarily 10R. You might have taken half off here. Maybe you take a little bit more off at median. Maybe you hold it for the home run. Yeah, just depends on what your style is and what you're doing. Okay. So my guys, advanced group. Okay, the takeaway on this one is, and Misha, I think did you say it before? Like we were talking about Brock, or maybe Ryan, you said it. Sometimes you just got to take the shots, particularly when there's so much R that's possible for some of these shots. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we don't want to be we don't want to turn into over traders per se, but we have to be willing to maybe take a shot that it's not ideal. It's not what we expect. So one of the things that I'm personally working on in my own trading is too many times I'm like, oh, well, we should come down and tap this level right here. I'll give you a perfect example of that from today's trading in CL, if I can find it. Where's my CL chart? Let me bring up my CL chart here. Perfect example of that was today. Come on. Render. Okay. Perfect example of that was today, right here. Boom. How easy it is to think, oh, it's got to tap this monthly level before it goes down. I'm personally trying to shed myself of such thoughts. Putting an expectation on the market. Oh, the market really needs to do this, right? I'm expecting it to do this because a lot of times that's, when I end up missing really good trades is when the market does what I don't expect. But if we're in our zone, if it's roughly the zone, if it's roughly the area, we get a good color change, we have everything else lining up, it's worth a shot, right? Okay, let's go on to the next day. What do we got here? Let's get rid of this stuff. Okay.
CL hit the target to the tech.
Yes. Let's see it.
I knew it. I should have kept my stop higher. Damn it.
Dang it. It was just ugly. Look at all that ugliness.
For that entry too, Taylor, what I was going to say is, I think when you were doing like your monthly levels, like you might not draw like a price action level if there's a monthly there or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still drawing a lot of those in. For me with that, like I had a price action level there along with the monthly, and my price action level was actually a little bit lower. So for me, it was kind of like I'm also in a price action level, and so that's kind of what made me feel a little bit better about it. But I don't know, just my 2 cents. So.
Yeah. You mean up here? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. I think both are valuable, for sure. We just, it's easy. This was just a good example that I remember right off the bat. But I do this a lot.
For sure.
I do it with like dibs. I'm like, oh, it needs to hit this dib. It's of course it's going to tap this dib to the tick and then turn, and then I can get in. Right. So I that's a mindset thing that I'm working on to try to expunge from my thinking when I'm entering a trade.
Makes sense.
All right, let's see here. Okay, Ryan, you ready with our data? There's not much to show here. This looks kind of ugly here, right? Anything? What day is this? June 6th. June 6th, I got new levels. Get rid of those. Okay, so these are my these are my new levels for June 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Probably nothing on the data. If I would look at this, I'd probably say there's nothing really, meaningful in the data that's helpful.
Oh, we've got 2 big options: DXP or RX.
Okay.
42% DXP, 40. That's like a even 42.9% DXP, 42.9% RX. We've only got 3 on each one.
Okay.
3 data sets on each one.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's okay. All right. So for those of you guys listening in, when we talk about RX, that's called range expansion. It means that the DR, this range that we track, would form a box that looks something like this, where it's above this ODR range and below it. And then you said downside X plus?
yeah.
Yeah, this is where that would form, the price action would form entirely below this range here. So just for terminology, I know you guys probably are a little bit confused. Okay, so that actually, this is good. So what is this like? Okay, so if you're planning a trade, if you're thinking about, okay, where can I be looking to enter a trade based on this data? What are the obvious places?
The price level, that upper price level that's had numerous touches and held.
So somewhere up here.
Yeah.
Yep. And then maybe
Looking
a
short.
target would be where?
I would say just that lower price level at least.
Okay, something like that. Maybe if
Yeah.
you're really lucky, you can get it all the way down to here. Okay,
Mhm.
good. So we can start thinking about the trades that we want to take. So we know that we have a high probability of this happening, which if price comes up to here, boom, that possibly could trigger a short for us. Maybe we don't get that right away. Maybe it comes down, and maybe then we can get something like that, right? So that would be scenario number one. Scenario number two is if we completely tank at this point, right? We don't even make it up to here, and we're looking for this kind of formation. We need to find something that looks something like this, right? That kind of a view. So those are kind of the two scenarios that we're stalking. So we come up here. Let's take a look. What are we going to do? Boom. Nice. Okay. Is this a trade?
If we've got a color change,
If we have a color change. All right, let's see. Let's see if we had a color change up here. I'm trying not to cheat and move and see things ahead of time. So I'm just trying to kind of slowly look at it little by little. 8:12. That's not the right time. All right, that's not the right. Nope. Okay. All right. Okay. So what do we have? We got a color change, right?
Mhm.
Color change here. We have a dib. So we could take this, take that right there. We could be super conservative there. And then we bring this all the way down to here. Hang on, guys. I can't see this. It's all messed up here. Hang on. I don't want to look ahead. All right, do that and then that. Okay. 6R trade. All right. Hey, I want to do another poll. Create a poll. Will this work out? All right, guys. What do you think? Yes. Do you think it's going to work out, or do you think that we'll get stopped out? Maybe it'll work out afterwards, but do you think we'll get stopped out before it works? Do you think we'll make it all the way to target? What do you guys think? Let's get those votes in. Get those votes in. I'm curious. Curious what people think. My guys, who's taking this one? Everybody? Nobody?
Yeah, I would take it.
Larry, you in?
I would take it too.
Vincent? Anything you see that would cause you caution to not take this?
No, I mean, the only thing I think about is range expansion is 50-50 as far as confirmation direction. But, I mean, it looks, at a monthly, it looks worth a shot.
Just
That's
the
kind of
price,
how to
not
start
a monthly,
thinking about
just the price action. All these are price
Oh,
action
that's the
levels.
price action? All right. My monthly to that color, that's why.
Mm.
Yeah, it just seems like it's, trying to have that mentality of is this worth a shot?
Yeah.
Is it where I'm trying to get to?
Yes. And I think that is exactly the reason for taking it. It's not, I have no idea whether it's going to work out, and I don't care. It's my hypothesis. It's part of my scenario. And I had the entry trigger. I had the execution, that I needed, which was a color change. And if I lose an R, I can take another shot. And if I don't get either shot, that's 2R. But the gain is almost 7R on that. Because we're going for these bigger trades, it's worth taking some of these shots. All right, what do our people say? All right, 80% say it's not going to work. Oh, dang. No. Guys have no faith, no trust. All right, let's see what happens. Let's see what it's not going to work. Oh, it did. It's still working. Oh my gosh. What? It's still working. Oh, it's going to work all the way. Oh, no. Is it going to work all the way? That's probably a break-even trade or probably a trail. I'd probably be out
That's
of
a
the trail.
heartbreaker right there.
Look at that. It eventually worked. All right. I don't know, kind of a draw. It kind of worked. It went, let's see, how far in our favor did it go? It went 5.5 R in our favor. We'd probably be out at break even. So probably be out at break even right here. Okay. Right. So actually probably not even break even. How many of you guys trail? Do you guys start trailing after 5R?
I would have trailed. I wouldn't have let it go all the way back. No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have made some money on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Probably.
think it's about. I'm trying to trail.
Yeah, I think worst case you're looking at probably 3R on that comeback. So it leads to another question, which is there another setup here? And Ryan, this is where you step in. Is there any data?
Sorry.
Is there any data
I was
here?
sleeping. I was thinking about something else. Okay.
Back to the transition
Tell me-
explorer data.
Yeah. So we've got Thursday, long confirmation. True day. We have a max retracement. We have a lot of, there is one sort of node at negative 0.9 and negative 1. It's not as big as the rest, but there is a drop between negative 8 and negative 0.9 and then 9. So there's something saying it could go all the way back.
Right here.
Yeah.
Right here. And what about
sorry.
What about short confirmation? Do we have any bias on short confirmation with any of the data?
Sorry, I was looking at the wrong data. My fault. Okay. So pre-confirmation, we don't go all the way back. No. Pre-confirmation, that's much more than what we should have had.
For what time?
I've got 10:30. Oh, I don't. Yeah. Okay. So
Try
yeah,
11 to
way off.
11:30 because we're already kind of at 10:40, 10:45.
Okay, 11. Sorry, yeah, I was looking at the wrong one.
Actually, let me do this because these are some of the questions that have come up with our group. Okay, so Misha, I know you wanted to find out a little bit more about the pre-confirmation. So here's the thing. The question on pre-confirmation is when you're looking at your data, right? First of all, I always use the 30-minute buckets increments in the data. I don't do 15-minute, I do 30. And I have to anticipate when I think confirmation is going to occur. So in the case that I'm already on the other side of the range here, and this all assumes that we have a bearish confirmation. I don't know that we have a bearish confirmation bias in our data, but if we did, then what I'd be looking for is probably an 11 to 11:30 and maybe even 11:30 to 12 confirmation. We didn't confirm till really late. I wouldn't have expected that. But I would be looking in our data much later to see, what are the kind of big retracement nodes. So right here, I have a 5 to 6 and an 8 to 9 there between 11 and 11:30. That's not really all that big. If I went even further, then, when you go further, you see more stuff. Oh, wait, I'm looking at the wrong one. Yeah, aren't I? I'm looking at retracement. My bad. So let's look at 11 to 11:30. Oh yeah. So we've got 5 to 6 as a drop off, 7 to 8, and then 9 to 1. So if I'm looking at this, then I have, remind me again, 5 to 6, 7 to 8, 9 to 1. Right? 9 to 1, 7 to 8. Is this right? And then we're already past 5 to 6. So the question is in this 7 to 8, do I have any sort of a color change event that happens? And I don't. I don't get one until we actually come into the 9 to 1 area. And so again, if I have a bias, and I don't know that we do for today, But this is a valid trade, trading this 9-to-1 zone where you've got a color change right here. And let's say you're like, okay, I'm not comfortable with where we're at relative to the 8. You do have this second chance entry right here as well. Right? We come down, we have a color change and a dib, and then you take this and you're looking for at least, I guess this would probably be okay. I'd want to look for at least back to the DR range for sure. So I'd be looking for something like that. Okay. So that's how I do when I'm thinking about what data to look at, Misha, I'm looking at expected times that I'm going to be confirming. And if I'm 1040, 1045, and I'm anywhere near the midline, I'm looking at the next bucket. I'm looking at the 11 to 1130 bucket. If it's like 1110 and we still haven't confirmed, I might be looking at 1130 to 1112 just to see. Does that make sense? I know that, I don't know if that was one of your questions or not, but I know that will come up for sure.
Yep, that helps. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Let's do another one. Hopefully we get a nice easy one here. Nice time and price trade maybe. Okay. All right. This was probably a news day. So,
Yeah.
but let's do it anyway, just for fun. We'll do a news day anyway, just for fun.
Would you consider that a false day now? I mean, it's right on the end, but still.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I know.
8:30. So yeah.
I don't.
But-
Yeah, I don't, because it's not in the data. The data ends at 8. Anything before 8:30 is officially in the data. So,
All right.
yeah. All right, let's just look at this from a time and price perspective. Okay, this is the first thing I want to do is have you guys, let's take a look at the data. Let's make sure that the indicator tracks everything that we kind of have here. All right, so we have confirmation 10:30. It's a Friday, so let's do Friday long 10:30. Should I exclude the news? It's actually a news day. Does that matter? I don't know if that matters or not. Okay. I don't see a big difference in the data. Okay. All right. So we clearly have a few nodes, and our indicator showing basically 0.1, 1, 2, down to negative 0.3. Would you guys, let me see, who am I going to pick on now? Brock is away. Misha, are there any deep levels that you would add to this? Because right now, our indicator is only showing up to here. It's showing from here, 0.1 to negative 0.3. Would you consider a deeper pullback based on the data?
Maybe the 0.7.
0.7, 6 to 7?
6 to 7, yeah.
Somewhere around there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else? Vincent, how about you? You concur?
I mean, you got maybe -1.
All the way back to here? Like that's like a retirement trade?
Yeah, possibly.
Okay. All right. But for sure, like we don't want to ignore something like this, right? It's not in the indicator, but it's pretty clear in the data that this, this whole range right here from, 4 to 7 might be important. So let's just keep an eye on that. Let's see if we get anything. Okay. Doesn't look like much. Okay. We're still within our time window. Okay. Do we have, I don't think we're going to have we don't really have a color change event happening here. Okay. And then what did we say? Was it 6 to 7 or 7 to 8? 6 to 7?
6 to 7.
Something like that. Interesting. Anybody taking this off of a color change? If there's a color change here, are you taking this trade?
I'll take
Yeah, I
it.
would.
Wow. Love this combination. Look at this. Boom. Boom. And what's your target?
Yeah, probably mode, I'd say.
Come on, Misha. They're like right next to each other. They're like literally next to each other.
I gotta stay with mode.
I swear, I'm gonna get him so like riled up on the median that his first trade he does the median, it just goes to mode. And he's gonna be like, "Darn it, Taylor!" All right, 6.7R. Okay, 6.7R. Do I need to do a poll? How many people think it's gonna go? Last time it was a no. All right, is it gonna go? Will it go all the way back? All right, let's find out. Okay, and our stop loss is still holding. All right, boom, 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 boom. I just love this stuff. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Beautiful 6.7R trade. I love it. Is it going to keep going? I don't think, did it form a new like all-time high? Is this like an all-time high? No, I don't know. Guess not. Median hit. Awesome. All right, guys. Any questions?
Ask a question.
Yeah.
So just a quick question. And I may know the answer based off of what you've covered in this session, but so if it like say wicks outside of the price zone that you're looking for, would you still take that trade? I think based on what you've covered now, it would be if you're looking for other areas in the data that are past that zone. But I guess when I was looking at it before, it was more like if it wicks, like I was more worried like if it wicked outside of that zone, could there still be a valid trade even though it's gone past the zone?
Yeah,
Was my initial thought.
A wonderful nuance to the time and price stuff. Let me ask everybody else though. My advanced group guys. How would you guys answer that?
Yes, I would take it. I guess I'll say like my thought process on it is I'm actually looking at this one in particular. I'm looking at the zones and I'm also looking at the time, the retracement, the median retracement time being over with.
Mm-hmm.
And then another portion that I'm looking at is where that stop location is as well. And so that's part of the reasons why like I would jump into that trade in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Also too, I know like if we had the old indicator, it probably would have shown the other level.
Put it on real quick and see if I can find it.
Does it or no?
I think it is there. Let me hide that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so like I've switched on both of them, especially like if we get past the box for one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was thinking about on that is sometimes I'll play it if we got two ranges. I'll play it to where like if we come and tap the top of the second range that we're getting into, I'll almost play that as like that's where the stop would be.
Mm.
And let that if we bounce off of that and we get a color change, then I'll take that entry coming off of bouncing off the second range.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what that kind of reminds me of right there.
Mm-hmm.
Is like a quick bounce off of another range. And so that's how I look at it. And then sometimes too, I'll look at time like it's like I won't worry about price as much as I would think about time.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we get a color change that occurs, and time is about to expire, and it's like there's nowhere else really for it to go at this point, and it's like jump in it and try it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Brock, I kind of figured you'd get probably some nuanced answers to that question, because it is a little bit nuanced in the sense of, the indicators there to make it easy to identify these things, but then you still have to decide, well, what else, when I have a wick through, as an example, is a wick through okay, but maybe not a close beyond? What does my other data tell me? Like, is the indicator actually fully complete, or do I need to be looking at the data as well to make sure I'm not missing some other levels and so forth, right? Do I have other things that are adding support? If I turn back my kind of the levels I had on here, this happened to coincide with a price action level I had on my chart, right? So it's kind of hard to give you like a definitive answer. I don't like taking stuff that goes, at least if it goes one level beyond, I'll wait. Like in this case, I think our indicator showed, a stop. Yeah, right here. And we went 1, 2, almost 3 levels beyond that. I'm not looking necessarily to get into here based on this range. The play was there's other data down here that it rejected from. But if I didn't have that data, I don't think I'd be looking long here. I think I'd have to say, sorry, I missed that trade. Oh, well.
Yeah, I'm not. That's a really great point, because I think I actually took this trade and it wasn't based off the data in that initial box.
Yeah.
It was like once we got to outside of that box, because I was looking for a color change the whole time, and then we just didn't get one. Once we got outside of it, it became more about, like I was saying earlier, a color change, price action level, and then time expiring as well. And then it kind of goes back to like that first, I think that first back test we had to do was what Monkey set up.
Mm-hmm.
And some of that's like reminiscent of that setup, to where we didn't have price at all when we learned that setup. We just had time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Today was another good example, right? I think Larry took this trade.
Yeah. And I think that's where I was kind of the question. I think your guys' answers help. I mean, I think for me, I'm trying to create rules around it. So I'm trying to be a little more rigid, like with the box setup. But I think with what I'm hearing in today's session is time and price is almost a little bit more contextual even, and looking for other supporting factors and things that way. So I think your guys' answers help here. So thank you.
Yeah, I do want to say, like, when you're first getting started, you use the indicator as is, and you try to be, relatively strict with it. Right.
Okay.
But as you become accustomed more to this style of trading, as you begin to see, kind of have more access to the data and are looking at the data, right, then that's kind of a different thing, right? That's where you've got a little bit more ability to bring in those nuances. But you can do really well by just using the indicator as is, right? And I think the good news, like the other thing I think we're getting out of this, is that it looks like NQ really has really is turned on. So I don't know who else is trading NQ, but it's worth us watching. If the DR formation stuff, we didn't see any pre-confirmation trades here, but I have done a look back, and there's some really big pre-confirmation trades. I think one was like a 22-hour trade that I saw in May, which was insane. I about fell on my seat when I saw that. Like a legitimate, 22-hour, not fudging or anything. And so I think there's some really good opportunities with NQ as well when we're applying, some of the stuff. So like we're beginning to learn that each one of these instruments is maybe a little bit different. So when you, for instance, are thinking about, CL has its own kind of way of doing things. And, hang on, don't show that again. Get out of here. Great. The stream went great. CL has its own ways of working, and we've got really nice process for transition. We have a nice process for, the DR formation, for, all of that stuff. Gold might be a little bit different. Maybe gold is a little bit going to be less valuable for maybe time and price. In Q, maybe it's DR formation, pre-confirmation, and time and price, right? So get to know these instruments a little bit better. I think we're going to find some unique characteristics about them.
How did y'all pick y'all target for CL price chart / transition today? Because I was saying, not time and price, I know he was saying like 70.
Brock, you were going for a bigger target, I think, Brock. There was a monthly, that big monthly to get through, that's where it really stalled.
Yeah, the reason why my target was that where it finally got to here, that 87.72, was that when I drew the trumpet pattern based off of symmetry. And when I did that, the bottom of the trumpet pattern went to that monthly level. And so that's, to me, where I thought would be if I was going to go big, that was going to be my big target.
Oh, the symmetry level. Yep.
Yeah. So I drew the symmetry with the trumpet because it had the broken model, but there was really nothing to draw that lower half of. So I used it's the second time I've done that, and I really liked it. It ended up going there. But anyway, so that's what I did to kind of give me a general idea. And when I saw the monthly lined up and the fact that we were rejecting at the top monthly, it just felt like a natural place to go.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the symmetry targets are really great in the trumpet patterns.
Yeah, I think that's the second time, like in a week here, that I've noticed that. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else do you guys have? What else you want me to cover today? Anything else?
Well, let me ask on DR formation. We could use. I'm gonna kind of like run down my thinking. Y'all tell me where I'm off. Get the models. So get the model data. Use the percentages off that model data to see what we're likely to confirm. The direction we're likely to confirm in. Then, based on what we get from a percentage of either long or short, we're going to look for, based on the model that appears to be forming, because we can potentially rule out some of the things that are shown in the Transition Explorer. And then from there, we'll look at and see where we get a percentage of like long or short, and then based on a particular like level, price action, or a few levels together, we look to have an entry off a color change into the direction of confirmation.
Yes. When in doubt, say yes. I think okay. No, I think I got you, which was everything starts with the data. So I think there's the DR formation is a data driven setup, with maybe the only exception being if there's a very clear trumpet pattern. But even then, I think you still need to have data to kind of indicate what the formation is going to be. So, right. I like to see where I have, I don't know. You know what? I think we're going to have to do a whole separate session just on DR formation, because there's these setups that happen that are really beautiful where, I think that setup that we showed earlier, the range where we're like, hey, it's going to be range expansion, and we have this level right here. And so we expect that, if it rejects right here, we fully expect a range expansion to occur. And I think that's I think that's a beautiful way to look at it. The other way to look at it is that, we've partially formed where we're headed, and then we get this nice pullback to an area and we know we need to have to complete the formation. And then there's the third scenario of like, right off the bat, we expect the open is going to be equal to either the high or low, right? And so I think there's probably a few scenarios then to take the data. Like, I know you're describing the simple process, but I think it's like, hey, there's 3 scenarios that we need to watch out for with DR formation. Scenario A, scenario B, scenario C. And I think it might help if we kind of break those up a little bit more. Does that make sense, Vincent?
Yeah. 'Cause I was just looking at like because sometimes I'll get annoyed with the data because it'll show a certain model, and I'm like, that model's nowhere near to be found.
Yeah.
And the percentage of that model is high, and so, but what I have been doing is just saying, okay, eliminate that model
Yes.
completely, and then once you eliminate that, then we're looking to see what we would get next. So, yeah, I'm not feeling like I got it down pat on that, but I do have the understanding as far as like using that confirmation. I'm not necessarily feeling the most comfortable when we get like 53% and 55% one way or the other. So I am just using the model as it starts to form and create itself to kind of eliminate some of the options that are there.
Yeah. Good. I like the DR formation trades, and I like the pre-confirmation trades a lot, because it's like we've gotten past a lot of the transition, maybe ambiguity, to the point where we have a lot more clear data and clear understanding of stuff, right? So
yeah, I really have liked the what's been easier for me to catch the pre-confirmations, like when they agree with Velez's stuff prior to actually confirming. So like if we have something that looks like a Velez setup prior to confirming in that direction, that's been easier for me.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, anything else you guys want to add? Any questions anybody can ask questions. Any of our visitors, you guys have any questions you want me to answer? Okay, cool.
If nobody has anything, I just want to real quick. So you're just sorry, with the time and price of the indicator. If I wanted to like create strict rules about it, you're saying I could trade the indicator. If I was to say the 2 things to be that it needs to, like, if when it confirms it's in one of the zones, would it need to have a close outside of that zone? Would be like one rule for it to then come back into that zone. And then also to not leave the zone at all. Like if I was just to have 2 strict rules, do those sound accurate?
What was the first rule?
So when it confirms it's in one of the zones currently, so the price action is in the zone, but it needs to leave it.
You asked about this in
would it be safe to say like, I did, yeah. And I appreciate your answer. I'm just trying to, again, if I wanted to create a strict rule on it, would it be I need to close outside that zone, or do you have any definition there?
I prefer.
And it's okay if you don't.
No, I prefer that we move out of the zone before we come back into the zone. I know what you're talking about. Like if the confirmation doesn't go very far, do we trade that same zone it's in, or can we trade the zone above? And I think, I'd probably have to go back through my 2023 stuff and make sure that I applied that rule consistently. But I'm pretty sure that I did follow that rule of like, I need to see it kind of a nice, strong attempt outside of that zone before it kind of really came back in. Now, the nuance of that is if you have a zone that's like 4 levels, right? I mean, what if it goes all the way back to the 3rd level? Like, okay, that's a pretty reasonable pullback, right?
Gotcha. Yeah. Yep.
So again, hate to kind of throw nuances at you, but
that's okay.
Go back and flag those in your back testing, and then look and see, does the rule hold up or not?
Okay. Yep, I will. Yeah, I think I'm just trying to start off with like these strict rules so that way I can be consistent in the execution, like as I'm doing my back tests and stuff, and then I can kind of expand on it from there. So I think I have direction. I just wanted to maybe ask it one more time. So thank you.
Yeah. Good deal. Awesome. All right, you guys. Thanks a ton. I'm doing my coaching call tomorrow. I'll be doing my coaching call tomorrow, but then after that, no calls next week. So, have fun with that.
Enjoy your time off.
A good vacation.
Thanks.
Yeah, have fun.
All right. See you guys.
Thanks.
Thanks everybody.
Okay.
Bye.